Everything you're gonna see in this video is from like chapter 1, early chapter 2, and I'm not gonna put a lot of story stuff in it. I still want y'all to play the game. Dynasty Warriors Origins has so much sauce this time around, from the visualization to the gameplay to the style. I think this is a return of form of what I remember Dynasty Warriors or of seeing of it. Now, I wasn't the hugest fan of Dynasty Warriors 9, and the last Dynasty Warriors I've played through all the way through was Dynasty Warriors 6 back on the PS2. And I love that game. I'm here to provide a different perspective here. I played all of Power Warriors games. I love Persona 5 Scramble and Zelda Age of Calamity and Hyrule Warriors. They're not perfect, but they're also super fun. I also don't believe in the game just being brain dead or just straight mashing. Understand that the beauty of Musou games is the power trip. The power you get from just plowing through multiple enemies. It's like being addicted to beating ass. Again, thank you Koei Tecmo for providing me with this review code of Dynasty Warriors Origins. My playthrough is on PS5 in performance mode, running at 60 FPS, and I am playing on the hardest difficulty available to me. So let's answer some quick questions before I get to the review. How long is the story? The main story will take around 31 hours to complete, stated. Getting out the way, I'm currently 15 plus hours into the game at this point, and I like to explore and admire everything, so yeah, for me, it's gonna be probably about maybe 40 to 50. Can you customize the main character's clothes? No. I'm not disappointed by it because the game has a lot of skill trees, branching unlockable paths to keep me interested even 15 hours in the game. You also have multiple player characters that you will unlock as you progress further into the story. I don't want to spoil who they are, but if you know the Dynasty Warriors origin and what the game is based off of, you'll probably figure out who they are. Does it feel repetitive? I strongly believe repetitiveness feeling is legit up to the player in person. One person can find Elden Ring repetitive, another person can find a simple IRL game of basketball repetitive, even if it requires more physical motions or actions in a real basketball game to do. To be honest, in some way, shape, or form, there's a little repetitive when it comes to Musou games, but I will say from a person who hasn't played the series since PS2, this feels more like the normal Musou game. It feels more hardy in its design for newcomers and making it a wonderful and welcome entry point. If I said too much BS for you, just know I'm having a motherfucking ball. Dynasty Warriors Origins is a tactical action game set during ancient China's Three Kingdoms period. The story takes place 150 years after the foundation of the Eastern Han Dynasty. The story follows a traveler that loses his Listen, I'm not going to spoil it to you. I'm going to just run it down for people that want to just try this out completely for you, alright? Alright, so let's run down the story real quick. Imagine Shadow the Hedgehog when he lost his memories, but it all took place with like the overarching plot of Avatar The Last Airbender. That's pretty much what this is. It's pretty gas. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like cool as shit. Yellow Turban people, they the Fire Nation. They bad. Gameplay. Dynasty Warriors Origins has a huge, beautiful open map. You can find all types of items that help you get more busted along the way, from money to peroxine, crystals that help you evolve your gems. Gems in this game so far have 5 different types. Oblivion, which expands attack range, Vortex, which boosts the launch enemies, Scorch, which boosts damage from parries, and Wellspring, which restores a certain amount of health for every 100 enemies defeated, and Ascendance, which is a defensive gem that gives you a higher percentage on blocking and attack. Navigating the map and overworld is straightforward, with having different quests as doing mini missions where you either have to stop a general from getting away or recapturing a base. Currently there are 9 different weapon types in Dynasty Warriors Origins, and so far I've used the sword, the spear, the fist, and wheels, and each weapon has its special utility for me. So I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, and I'm not that good at the parries in this game yet. I have been taking a huge liking to the staff, and I recommend it for every beginner, due to it having a counter ability. However, in missions where things are happening fast and you need to do things timely, I find myself using the swords to clear out areas faster than normal and using the monk or fist to fight the more tankier enemies. The best and worst thing about Dynasty Warriors Origins is weapon switching whenever almost via the equipment menu. I think if they would have incorporated a fast way by action of hitting the D-pad or something, it would be so much better even then. However, I know this is not a typical thing in Dynasty Warriors, to be honest with you, so this is just a welcome change overall to me. At the same time, it kind of devalues the battle preparation phase of gameplay, because I could just change everything whenever I want in battle anyway. So far, this game on hard is not just knock off easy. You have to understand when to parry, when to use your special battle arts, because you're using battle arts to consume bravery, and the only way to increase bravery is by going on the offensive play. Staying on defense and blocking 24/7 will get you killed. You will lose a lot. I mean it, a lot. You have to be quick on your toes, and the game actively engages you with its combat systems for my taste. A huge quality of life thing in Musou games that you necessarily doesn't have to start over from the beginning. If you fail on the battlefield, you can pick specific checkpoints to reload into and start from there. Trick is that you don't just restart with full health or resources, you restart with whatever you had at that certain point. So if you had nothing, you restart from there, you gonna have to start from there like it still happened. All in all, so far, Dynasty Warriors Origins is probably one of my favorite games so far of 2025. I love Musou games, and it's a huge step in the right direction to get me into the series for the future of their games. I've researched and looked deeper into it, and I know Dynasty Warriors have had a very shaky history recently, but I will say Origins, if I had to give it a review off the top of my head, from the first 20 hours of gameplay, I'm giving a solid grade out of 10. This game is really good, really colorful, and has a very good vibe that I just generally vibe with, being the type of fan I am, and if you're part of this channel, you would get it. So let's answer the big question. Should you buy Dynasty Warriors Origins? Honestly, I think this is going to be one of the best games to come out of 2025, and we already starting off the year off strong in January. I think this is a huge step up from Dynasty Warriors 9, and arguably a wonderful foundation for the future of Dynasty Warriors. I cannot argue it from a longtime fan perspective, because I am not a longtime Dynasty Warriors fan, or never have been one. But I also talk about how this game alone feels good as a standalone in the series. The game itself is fully voice acted in its cutscenes, and it's a really simple and easy to understand plot based around the universe of Dynasty Warriors. Its playability is high with all different skill trees, 9 different weapon types, and paths you could take as well. The game also has multiple playable characters that keep the game fresh even if you feel like you might get bored with the general 9 weapon types you unlock along the way. Update: I am pretty much at the end of the game, and I would definitely say this was definitely worth the time of playing this game. However, I will say if you already dislike how Musou games play or Musou games feel to you, you may not like this at all. Essentially, if you feel like Musou games are just brain dead repetitive games, or you just don't have fun with the structure of how Musou games feel like they're button mashy, or you just could never click in them with you, I think this is a game that you should probably wait till it gets a little bit cheaper, if anything. What I'm trying to say here is I recommend the experience overall than just looking at it from a lens of I hate Musou, because this is a return to form, an evolution, and a reboot of Musou at its greatest form. One thing I highly appreciate about this Dynasty Warriors compared to a lot of other ones, I feel like this game has a lot more sauce and it just appeals in a different way. Maybe because I've gotten older, but I really do appreciate what Dynasty Warriors was before, and I appreciate it what it is today with Dynasty Warriors Origins. That being said, if you enjoyed the video, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe for more, and comment down below. And in the future, if y'all like this video up, I'll do a Dynasty Warriors 100 hours later video in the future in the upcoming month. That being said, you guys are golden, and that is raw. Squalla, peace, and I'm out.